Hey, what's going on today, guys? Gonna be doing a Granite State Overland upload here. This is gonna be an update. I swear, I filmed like 6 of these and I haven't posted any. I want to post this one. You've seen on the channel, I don't have that many people who watch, but if you do, you saw I made an exhaust video on that truck. Some things have changed on the channel as far as vehicles go. Obviously, with this whole quarantine virus, I've had a lot of time to work on things and get things sorted through. So let's start out where the Titan. This is my new daily. It's a 05 Titan. It's only got 115,000 miles on it. Pretty much completely rust-free. The frame is truly mint. The rockers are mint, doors no rust. The only issue it really had was the rear bumper was smashed into the bed. So we did need to do some body work on both bed sides. But that was really it. And that was mostly just fixing dents. And the tailgate also had a crease in it. But other than that, it's honestly a fairly clean truck. It's a off-road package. It's got the electronic rear locking diff, and on the inside it's got the flip down seat, which personally I prefer that over the center console, because then you end up with the column shifter in these, not the center console shift. But that's just my preference. It's got a tune, a cold air intake. It's a solid truck. Really, I haven't done much to it. It's got some off-brand leveling kit I put in it. It's just a spacer on top of the strut, and I did the headlights. That's really it. So, and the tow mirrors were chrome, so I just plastied up those black. But obviously, since I got this, the Yukon, which I never made a video on, there's a guy actually coming to pick it up today. I did sell it. If anyone was curious, this was a 3/4 ton GMC Yukon. 8.1 big block. It's a pretty awesome truck, but not really what I needed for commuting. It's not that great on gas. I mean, I'm not saying a Nissan Titan's that great either, but this thing usually got like 10 miles to the gallon when you were driving it like I do. But it was pretty sweet. Fully loaded everything, and the guy buying it's a construction guy, so I think he's just gonna tow trailers with it. It can tow like 12,000 pounds, so that's pretty solid. We've got the Tahoe, which was a build on the channel for wheeling, which, depending on my buddy of mine, he needs a new truck, and I decided this is a solid truck for him. So I'm in the process of trying to sell this, and I'll go over to the new wheeling truck. I've had a lot of trucks. I've had like seven or eight. I don't really know. So I don't know why I don't seem to be good at keeping things, other than I'm just never satisfied with what I have. This Tahoe has been in my family forever, and he's really the only guy I'd sell it to. We were gonna do wheeling with it. We made the front bumper, did the lift in the back, but it's it's just kind of gonna go into his hands. If not, it'll probably just stick around here and it'll do something. Mail Jeep's got like an exhaust on it. But yeah, as you guys know, I don't think I ever did a video on it, but I did do a solid, manual transfer case swap. It was the buttons, but if you own one of these, and you know that sometimes the four-wheel drive just stops working. So I swapped in a manual T-case, and then it's just got a switch on the dash right here that controls the front diff. So you can do too low as well, but we're pretty much, moving on to a new project, which we're gonna go check out. Got the golf cart. I don't know if I ever made any videos on that, but that's always kind of broken, and it works and it's broken. We're gonna be focusing on the new future wheeling truck. This is a 2004 Nissan Frontier, so it's only a year older than the Titan. of course in a little bit of rougher shape, but this is a one-owner truck. Got it from a guy at work. He lived in Washington, and he drove this last summer when I started working where I do. And then one day he's like, "Hey dude, do you want this?" Because it has had a bad oil leak. It has a gas leak. Sorry. Allergies are not super great in May. But I'm going to go over this with you guys today, because it's really the most interesting vehicle I have right now, and we're going to be doing a build on it. So, first things first, I want to try to do a 3-inch lift on this. Calmini sells, you can get heavy-duty torsion bars to the front. They don't seem to make keys for these, so you can crank the torsion bars more. It seems like you can only just get different torsion bars. To me, it looks like it's easier on this than a Chevy. And it's just leaf springs in the back. It does need a new leaf spring on the other side, which these Frontiers and Xteras are kind of known for that. But we are going to put the tires off the Tahoe on this. Those are almost a 34. They're 305 70s, I think. 16s. So I have to swap them onto these rims because this has a hub, or the hub on the front's a lot bigger than the Tahoe. Because the hub actually sticks out on this. You can put manual locking hubs on this, which I plan on doing because my brother had one of these and he said this was a weak link, so we're going to try to get rid of any weak link that this could have. As far as interior goes, it's in pretty decent shape. It only has a rip on the other side. It's got power windows, four-wheel drive. It's obviously a crew cab. The back seat's actually not that bad. Yeah, so it's pretty clean on the inside. But overall, rust-wise, needs rockers, but that's pretty much it. And we're gonna pop open the hood because that's really the main reason that I even wanted this in the first place, because I'm not a huge Japanese guy, even though both my trucks are now going to be Nissans. But yeah, let me pop open the hood real quick. Boom. This is a supercharged Nissan Frontier. This is a factory option. It's the SVE package, which basically stands for what is it? Supercharged Value. Yeah, Supercharged Value Edition. So it has a limited slip in the back. It's not a locker, so really only on dirt. If you floor it, you know, it'll spin both tires. But off-roading, it needs a locked rear diff or a locking rear diff. But under the hood, yep, it's got a supercharger, so that bumps up the power a bit. I do need to start running 93 in it, because you're supposed to run premium in these. The engine itself is stock. I believe they just took the 3.3 Nissan and slapped a supercharger on top. The only work I've really done to it is when I got it, it ran on 5 cylinders. And any shop around here told them that you needed to pull the supercharger off to do the spark plugs, and I did them and did not have to pull the supercharger off. I was going to make a video on it. Basically just giving you my opinion of how to do it, in case anyone else has one of these. Personally, my brother had a non-supercharged Xterra, and he said that doing this, he thought this would be easier than the other one, or the non-supercharged one, and it turns out it probably is. The spark plugs go through the top of the motor, and there's pretty easy to get to on this side. No real issues. You can see they're right there. As long as you have a swivel joint, it's really all you need. And they're 5/8, so you want a spark plug one so you can grab it and pull it out. And then on this side, this one's not bad. The one up here, and the middle one, I don't know if you can see it. Basically, the middle one's underneath these two hoses. That's the hardest one to get to. That one took me like an hour to get out because I couldn't tell if I was on it or not. And mine, this is an 04, mine had the stock spark plugs in it, so they were a little rusty. And then I think it was cylinder, the last one on this motor, I think it's 5. I'm not sure, to be honest, actually. on this. Yep, it is number 5. No, this is number 6. I wasn't sure which order it went in, but that's number 6. That one was one that wasn't firing. That's actually not that bad to get to. So if you do have one of these, it's not that bad. I also did valve cover gaskets, which you just have to pull that intake off there. Honestly, not that bad. It's a little intimidating when I was about to do it, but you can either label stuff or you can just unplug everything because none of the plugs plug into the same thing. But mine was leaking oil onto the manifolds, which normally I don't really care that much about oil leaks, but since it's leaking on the manifold, it's kind of a fire hazard, so I didn't want to mess around with that at all. But as far as valve covers, I'd say that's a solid 2 to 3 hour job if you're going to do this. I had issues with trying to get the screws to thread back in. The gaskets are kind of a pain. They're the rubber ones that go into a channel. But overall, nothing you can't do. The oil pan is probably my next task because I'm sure it's already dripped. Oh, that's interesting. It's not leaking oil at the moment. Knock on wood. But I was hoping I might not have to do the oil pan until after this Vermont trip, which is that road trip, off-roading trip I always talk about that I say I'm going to film, and I haven't filmed it for the past 2 years, but we're going to try to do it this time with this truck. So if that oil pan stopped leaking, which would be kind of surprising to me, to be honest, I might just do the gas tank, and we'll save that oil pan for another time, because I'd really rather get it like on the road and driving. But yeah, so oil pan is a huge pain, honestly. I'm probably just gonna do it just to get it out of the way. But you basically drop the front cross member. It's 2 bolts on each side. I think you're gonna drop the pitman arm and the front axle, and then you're free. You're ready to go. Gas tank has a hole in it because it's metal. I think metal gas tanks are kind of dumb in my opinion, but we got to get a new gas tank, and I'll probably do a video on that. I wanted to start doing videos on, you know, things to do on these that, according to mechanics around here, were too much work because it's a Nissan, but really not that bad. And it is straight piped, which these motors sound interesting. They kind of sound, I don't know. They sound like UPS trucks below like 2,000 RPMs, and then they start to sound pretty good. That's the muffler. It's huge. I think we're gonna do a side dump out the corner of the bed. I've always wanted to do that on one of my trucks, and well, the Titan's a little too. I don't really want to do something like that on that truck, but for this thing, I don't really care. We're gonna rip this front rear bumper off because it's a piece of junk, and I want more departure angle. Basically, when you're wheeling, you have to draw a straight line to the back. That's how steep you could be going before you're gonna hit the back bumper. Back bumper is a solid 6 inches, so we're gonna rip that off and either make a new one or do a roll pan or something. But either way, we'll get a new rear, or some kind of new rear bumper. The bed is a little rotted back here, well, underneath this. That doesn't matter. It's got a roof rack on top of a roof rack. I don't know. I think it looks okay. I'm working on a new logo for the club we're trying to start. Of course, we got the Bog Deep sticker from Cletus McFarlane. As you know, he is one of the best YouTubers out there. And just if my channel ever did get popular enough and you guys actually wanted stickers, like if you actually want a website for Granite State Overlanders, which I might make one just for the fact that I want to make a club, but I would start selling stickers. We're probably going to make a couple for this today. But I think that's pretty much going to be it for the video, because I don't want to bore you guys too much with talking about this Frontier. other than I just wanted to let you guys know what was up with the vehicles around here. This Vermont trip's going to be in August. And maybe I can get another GoPro, because mine is drunk from when I did YouTube videos, I don't know, 5 years ago. In like 2015, I used to make YouTube videos all the time with my GoPro. And they were pretty terrible, because I don't like to edit things. And but yeah, you know what, I'll do an exhaust clip to end the video on this thing. And then, yeah. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned if we do that oil pan or not. It depends if it stopped leaking magically. Then I guess I'm not gonna do it until next summer or over the summer. But let's do an exhaust clip.